Huh? Oh, thank you, 2 minutes. Thank you. Hey, Ringo, you seen Steve anywhere? No. Oh, anyone seen Steve? April? Mona? Seen Steve? No. Francois, seen Steve? Chester? No. Melvin? Melvin, have you seen Steve? No. Well, he's disappeared. Gone missing. Finally. Looks like I'm gonna have to do this solo. Right. All right, time for my star to finally shine.
Boo!
Steve, what the heck? Where did you come from?
Huh? Oh, well, I was behind this curtain. Well, the Paris Opera. Well, I'm from Ohio, you know that. But anyway, ooh.
So, Steve, you're the Phantom.
Yes.
Phantom. So, why are you dressed like that?
Huh?
Why are you dressed like that?
This is our Halloween special, Dave. We're supposed to dress in costume.
My God, I completely forgot. I'm so sorry. I'll be right back. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Chamber of Comedy's Week in Review Halloween Special. I'm Lazy Eye Dick.
And I'm the Phantom of the Opera. And this week's update brought to you by Maine Repertory Theater and Bell & Lugosi's Facial Cream. If your skin is so dry and chapped, it could even scare a Tony Soprano, you'll want to use Bell & Lugosi's Facial Cream. It really is all it's cracked up to be. It's fantastic. And now available in menthol. Deadeye?
Phantom? An all points bulletin continues this evening for the whereabouts of an entire family of missing trick-or-treaters. Jacqueline and Jack Lantern, along with 13 of their youngest children, were last spotted begging for candy at the house of one Norman Bates in the sleepy town of Ravens Hollow yesterday, just before midnight, where there was no trick-or-treating scheduled. The van they were traveling in is black with a license plate reading 666 BOO. Anyone with leads as to the lantern's whereabouts is asked to call local authorities.
Sounds like there might have been a little more trickery going on, not so much treatery.
Well, treatery's not a word,
Yeah.
Phantom.
Well, you tell that to the Dairy Queen people. We wish them the very best of luck. Dick, you got a thing there.
I know. Yeah, get it?
Perfect. On a related note, another missing person to report due to some sort of tomfoolery this evening. The Chamber of Comedy welcomes the newest addition to our news team, reporting live on the scene of this freakish accident. Our very own Dwayne DeTub. Dwayne?
Thanks, Phantom. I'm standing just outside the budget wing of the Marion Berry Patch Cemetery, where high school senior Tommy Ross tells us his ghoul friend Carrie White has gone missing. According to Mr. Ross, he and Miss White were planking in the cemetery when Carrie rolled off a tall headstone and down into an open pit. Now, those unfamiliar with planking, it's a little like this. Okay. All right. Mr. Ross did admit there might have been a little drinking involved, but nothing more than usual. He said, quote, Carrie says I'm more handsome after she popped a few dozen. She was in the middle of a really good plank, then suddenly I just saw her roll off down the pit and boom, vanished. I was getting ready to wrap this story up because I was getting just as bored as you. But Mr. Ross continued. We were supposed to go to the prom next weekend. I already got her a corsage. No, it's, God, I have the penmanship of a donkey. She was going to be crowned prom queen, and you can't get a refund for corsages. Thankfully, he finished up and was taken away in a black van, which is good because I was just about to be out of paper. So if he would have continued, I would have had to make the rest up. For the Chamber of Comedy, live at the Marion Bury Patch Cemetery, I'm Dwayne DeTube. Back to you in the studio. Oh man, that was terrible. It was awful. That was an awful debut for me. Yeah. No, they're never gonna ask me back. Corsage? I mean, I can't read my own writing. It's like I'm not even a doctor.
Thank you, Dwayne. We'll bring you any new developments as they come in.
Do we wish them nothing but the very best of luck?
No, not this time. You plank in a cemetery, you get whatever's coming to you. You know, waking the spirits like that, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. We do, however, wish Dwayne DeTube the very best of luck.
Meanwhile, in other news, 2 drunken axe-wielding ducks, a shotgun-toting, bikini-clad swan, and 3 knife-brandishing chickens in leather jackets were discovered tonight laughing at and threatening local curmudgeon Morse code.
Police expect foul play.
In other news, in neighboring Broken Falls, yet another scientific experiment has quite literally gone awry.
That's right, Pink Eye. According to Dr. Frankenstein, his latest creation, affectionately named Elvin, has left the building and is headed towards a 24-hour gas station that sells icy Slurpee drinks.
This marks the 4th spare part pal escapee from the doctor's lab this week. No reason offered on why the patient doctor keeps losing his patience. If Elvin approaches you, authorities suggest you remain calm and just pepper Elvin with compliments, because he is reportedly very insecure. Insecure. I wonder if his real name is Steve. Elvin is considered harmless, but at 7 foot 8 inches, 300 pounds, one can never be too certain.
It's true. You know, I once had a girlfriend that size, and she used to scare me all the time, no matter how often I would compliment her, which you know, was rare, given that size and all.
Was she abusive?
No, she'd just hide behind, like, the living room curtains and, like, jump out and scare me when I was watching my daytime dramas. She made good soups, though.
Can't imagine at that size her hiding behind anything. Oh, well, what was her name?
Oh, well, her friends called her Mary, but you know her real name was Shelley. Shelley, yeah. She was a really, really good kisser, though. Well, so I've been told.
Thanks for slowing things down again, Steve.
Phantom, and you're welcome.
In other news, aside from Steve's Phantom's birthday, many believe Friday the 13th is the unluckiest day of the year, especially when it lands in October, which this year, thankfully, it does not.
You know, my mom told me that she gave birth to me and held me in until just after midnight on the 14th. She didn't want to birth me on the 13th and never wanted me to have a Friday the 13th birthday.
That explains the shape of your head.
Yeah. You know, here I thought she was just looking for one more reason to celebrate Bastille Day.
Well, there's that.
However, Friday the 13th does occur this November, And in preparation for such an auspicious day of suspicion, we've compiled what we believe is the quintessential list of do's and don'ts for the approaching day of unluckiness.
For example, don't walk under a ladder.
Also, don't walk under a cow, especially if the cow is on the same ladder.
Do look both ways before crossing the street.
Also, do look both ways before crossing your legs,
Don't allow a black cat to walk in front of your path.
especially if that path leads to a ladder with a cow on it.
Also, be very careful not to step on a crack.
Especially if you're wearing stiletto heels and the plumber is making a house call. And that goes for the fellas, too.
And finally, don't break a hand mirror or you'll suffer 7 years of bad luck.
Yes, unless you broke that hand mirror inspecting something very intimate, and bits of broken glass have invaded your nether regions, then you can expect much more than 7 years of bad luck. Trust me. More like 7 stitches. Minimum.
In other death news, ever lose a loved one, and while caught up in the emotion of the moment, you have the most beautiful and the most expensive epitaph inscribed on their gravestone for what was intended to be for an eternity, only to have your feelings change once you learn the truth about them.
Well, that was a lengthy question, but yes.
It used to be too late to do anything about it until now. Introducing the all-new Etch-A-Epitaph. From the makers of the popular Etch-A-Sketch comes this realistic, lightweight gravestone that allows the survivors to come and visit their dearly deceased, and if the feelings have changed since the funeral, they can simply lift the stone and shake it, erasing the original message, and then manipulate the knobs that's located at the bottom and create a brand new, more truthful missive.
You know, I once had my knobs manipulated.
Work has also begun on another childhood toy-turned-tombstone truther, the new Magic Slate paper gravestone. Ooh. Don't like what you're reading about your Uncle Spats? It can go from best uncle ever to you sick bastard with just one pull. Simply lift the plastic film off the stone and start all over again.
You know, I already decided what I'm going to have on my tombstone. One side's going to read, "Please read other side."
What about the other side?
It's going to read, "Please read the other side." That ought to keep the fans and tourists on the buses busy for a while.
Fans?
I also have a list of songs that I want sung at my funeral, you know. 208.
Look for these 2 new products to be on the shelves at your local hardware stores just in time for Christmas.
Oh, I know what I'm getting a certain co-anchor for Christmas.
We agreed there would be no gifts exchanged this year. And now with a personal note, here's Steve. Here's the Phantom.
Thank you, Dickie Pooh. Hey, where does the superhero Wolverine buy his suits? The Men's Werewolf House. Thank you, Ringo. What did the therapist tell Casper the Friendly Ghost? You have to believe in yourself. Ringo, thank you. And finally, what is Dracula's favorite brand of pizza? Tombstone. What? No rim shot? No. So what are these? These are jokes, folks. And gems of jokes at that. Well, two out of 3, evidently. But being jocular about all things spooky can sometimes take a turn one didn't expect. I was maybe 10 years old, and as was quite often the case, I was by myself, again, at the local fair in my home town in Ohio. And there was a sideshow that year. Angela, the bodiless beauty. Oh. You walked into this tent, and there, sitting on top of a pyramid of mirrored boxes, among a bunch of straw, was this beautiful woman's head. And she would turn her head and look at you and smile. But she wouldn't talk. So naturally, because I was 10, I did what I could do to get her to talk. I'd ask her such things like, "Hey, where's the rest of you?" Or, "How do you poop?" And finally I would ask her, "Is there a Mr. Bodiless?" Well, All of a sudden, her smile turned into a grimace, and she snapped her head over towards me and locked her eyes on me for what seemed an eternity. And then she winked. Well, that little maneuver of hers resulted in a lifetime of me never wanting to be in the dark and never again going into our basement by myself. Because later that same night, I had a dream that Angela's beautiful head was floating down our stairs and into my bedroom. But not only that, she had an empty Coke bottle in her mouth, and she was making a noise by tapping her teeth on the glass neck of this bottle. And where her neck should have been was just this white sheer scarf that fluttered beneath her head, while her beautiful head floated closer and closer towards me. Frozen in fear on my bed, unable to move. And even now, as I describe this to you as a grown-up adult, I'm teetering on wetting my pants. And some of you watching this will sleep with a light on tonight. This I know. Dick?
It was actually sort of scary, Phantom.
Duck, Dick!
Whew.
Angela. Socially responsible paper straws.
Well, that's our first annual Chamber of Comedy Halloween special. I'm Lazy Eye Dick, aka Dave Hanwright.
And I'm the Phantom of the Opera, or as they call me at the Hot Tub Country Club, Steve Burnett. Remember, when news breaks out, no matter how scary, so do we.
Thanks for joining us. Be safe out there and have a good night. Well, that went well, I thought.
Yeah, a little scary if you ask me.
Yeah, I was a little scared.
Yeah.
Hey, giving out anything to the trick-or-treaters this year?
Oh yeah, here. Yep. Fresh pizza dough.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a treat.
Yeah, they got a special running down at the local grocery store on
Huh.
it. Yeah. How about you?
Oh, yeah. Well, same thing we give out every year.
Oh, what's that?
Rice cakes.
You don't get any trick-or-treaters, do you?
No, not too many. Very few, and no repeats from previous years. But you know what? The good thing about rice cakes is that you can give out the ones from the previous years because people they don't know the difference.
Yeah, especially if you don't get any trick-or-treaters. And you're welcome, by the way.
For what?
For saving your life from the crashing Coke bottle.
Steve, it fell in the middle of the table. It wasn't even close. And you didn't really have to push me out of my chair.
Well, you could have gotten bonked.
So, did you make all that up about Angela, the bodiless beauty?
Oh, no, Dave. And she was absolutely gorgeous.